Hey church family, great to be with you. I know we're in the run up to Christmas and New Year, but we just wanted to finish off the year by making sure we were being accountable and transparent and feeding back. So a couple of Sundays ago, the trustees, in a sense on behalf of the whole church, fed back a bigger view of what goes on in church, shared some specifics in terms of finance and policies and safeguarding that are specific to us being a charity, but would be things we would do anyway. And really within it, all of that, trying to just celebrate church, bigger picture of what we do, and recognise a whole bunch of different people that are involved. And we did ask for some questions. So today, just want to feed back on three questions, three specific things that were asked. A couple of those sort of multiple people asked the same question, which is always helpful because we want to help people navigate. We want you to know what we're thinking about, that if you've seen something you're not too sure about, that we're aware, or that your question made us aware. And so just really thank you for those that did feedback in that way. I'm sharing because of course, as was shared that Sunday, the trustees are part of this, in the sense, foundation of what we do as HCC. But of course, it connects into the whole remit of all of church life. And while strictly certain things are under the trust banner, of course, there's a big merging and relationship that we have all together as we serve and as we lead. So I'm feeding back because these questions, a lot of them pull more into a bigger church sort of picture, which of course we were celebrating and hosting, and hopefully that helps. So question number one was around prayer. And a few people are asking about can we pray more, or can we have a slot on Sundays specific to praying for our world and praying for the needs of the world? And firstly to say, great question. And yes, we want to be praying for our world. I think we have to navigate Sundays, and I know for the Western Church, Sundays so easily has become trying to do everything in this small shop window of time, in a sense. And we are trying to discover, I think especially these last couple of years, what is Sunday there to do? And there's loads of things we don't do there. But we're really on that journey of going, what specific thing is that there to do? And I think in terms of prayer in that way, I know in the past we have done quite a lot of that. I think with key events that have happened, I know especially the Ukraine was something we were often praying for. And just really ask for wisdom, that as we are genuinely trying to prepare for Sundays, but at the same time really be led by what God's doing, that we're not closed, that we're not like just narrow-minded in terms of what we do and pray for. You know, this Sunday we finished by praying for young people in our area. We stood to do that. And just getting that balance as well between being led by God, being, yes, led by our hearts and compassion and what's going on in the world, and yet at the same time aware there is so much going on that the bits of the news choose to tell us aren't the whole picture. Paul flagged the last two Sundays about Open Doors and the millions of our brothers and sisters who suffer for the gospel. There's huge need out there. And can I really encourage you, you know, we pray every Sunday at 9:30 and we pray and been praying midweek. We'll be sharing some more on that in the new year and where we go with that. But really encourage you as well, make use of those prayer things and make use of times with other people as we gather. Hopefully that sort of covers that a bit and helps you understand where we're coming from. Not something we're close to. I think we'll be more aware of that. So thank you for putting your hand up and mentioning that, and just trying to get it right in terms of what God are we supposed to be doing on Sundays. Second question, again, a few people asked, was actually saying, hey, why are we doing this? Why on a Sunday are we talking about finances? Or why are we talking about policies? Shouldn't we have like a midweek meeting about that? And that's a good question as well. And I think the first decade or so I was here, that's how we'd done it. We'd had like a midweek meeting and people would come to that, and it had been very narrow in terms of really just feeding back on trust issues, so policies, safeguarding, finance, that sort of stuff. We wanted to recognise and help everyone recognise that our trustees don't operate in isolation, that what they do affects the whole. And so bringing it into the arena of taking a bigger look at some of the amazing stuff that goes on in church beyond us gathering on a Sunday, that was really key. And also the inclusivity issue, that we know in the end, if we have a midweek meeting, we're going to get 35, maybe 40 max there. Yet doing on a Sunday brings everyone into that. And we're trying to just have a go. If it doesn't work, we can think again. It's okay. But our intent was to actually give an opportunity for everyone to see into, some people and some of you watching now, you might only come on Sundays, and that's great. But to know and be aware of our impact, our involvement, our engagement, and the work that goes on behind the scenes. And I think that's so important. We want to have a spirit of celebration and thank you, where, we recognise, hear me, there's tons of stuff we're not doing. There's a bunch of stuff we could probably do a lot better. But us starting from a place of recognising people put a lot of time in and a lot of work and a lot of energy into these things, I think helps us approach the future positive, encouraged and blessing. And that brings us on to the third question, again, a question that several people asked, which is regarding Sundays and youth work. And so hopefully you're aware, on a Sunday we have children's work and there's been a real new investment in that. But at the moment we don't have any youth work on a Sunday morning. And I think especially for that sort of first 3 years of secondary school, that 11, 12, 13, 14, those sort of age groups, we know that's hard. So to say we're aware of the problem, to say we would love to find a solution for that, I think as we've fed back this year, we've got a big challenge post-COVID around resource, specifically people. And, we had our Together for November, which has really encouraged us, could we all be together? And hey, it was great. I think we had a great response in terms of lots of people who were coming that Sunday, coming earlier and getting more time together. I don't know if we had that many more on a Sunday per se. And we're really running probably most Sundays around 50%, 60% max of the church gathering, which is hard, which means people resource, to do youth work would take people. And we need to make sure as well that the things we are doing, so children's work, set up, both of those need more people. A few people are putting a big effort in to do those. So can I finish by sharing that we're aware of that need? I would love there to be, and we would as a leadership, to be a great youth provision on a Sunday. And I hope you heard, or if you haven't heard it yet, listen back to what Catherine shared yesterday of people who've put in time, like Deb and Caleb and myself, even post-COVID, of trying to see where we can go with young people. And we'll really hit a place where we're just trying to build. Sunday night, young people are meeting nearly every Sunday night, and that's been consistent. We're investing in Caleb, and as he's come back now from Jesus Culture, okay, what does that look like? We know that will be a thing. That'll be something on the agenda. But can we all be recognising there's a need, and resource is you and it's me. And there's a challenge, isn't there, within that, of, in the end, someone's have got to be able to do that. And so can we be praying, specifically around Sundays, for people in terms of setup? We're trying to do some stuff in terms of the hall to make it easier to set up, less stuff. We'll feed more back on that. In terms of children's work, it's exciting where they're going and what they're wanting to see, and yet they need some more people. And wouldn't it be great to have so many people abound that we can actually look then at serving that beautiful age group and really blessing them? Be encouraged, as we shared yesterday, even when it's been tough and a struggle, a third of the people who've responded to the gospel in church on Sundays have been young people. So let's be encouraged. I hope that stuff helps. I hope you hear our hearts in it. God bless you and have a great Christmas and New Year.